guys. It's been
To the Two Man Wrestling Podcast.
a week.
It's been a while. No, it hasn't been a while.
It has been a week. It's been a week since we put anything with social. We've been very busy, both of us.
Yeah, busy lives, busy minds.
Busy lives and busy minds.
Unfortunately, no time for the podcast. But then again, has fuck all happened in the past? Well, since the last video we did. No!
Preview. No.
I mean, the only thing that's remotely interesting is that Braun Breaker's got injured. But that's literally all they've told us. So
yeah, and obviously Elimination Chamber matches are starting now. But that's not it.
So there's nothing really to report on.
No, but there is. There's a purpose of why we're doing this podcast today.
Well, yes. I mean, in terms of the general weekly stuff, there isn't.
No, there isn't.
No.
Which makes it perfect to do a whole podcast on the WWE Unreal documentary, season 2.
No, this is stuff you're here for. This is going to be some unbelievable analysis.
Great content.
Fat, like, Sky Toast desk.
This sounds so sarcastic. I really talk that down. But
yeah, it will be. I mean, whatever you guys deem as good analysis is good analysis. But, you know, I think we're fucking sick. So, you know.
I think we're pretty good, yeah. I think we're pretty good.
We move.
So, yeah, there's a lot to, I guess, run through with this whole...
What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? There's a lot to run through in this documentary. And I think the best place to start would be probably this whole Becky Lynch thing.
Episode
just
1.
Basically introducing Becky Lynch into everything else. You know what I mean? So yeah, obviously it focused mainly on the first two. Well, we're obviously gonna just go randomly with all the different episodes. We're not gonna literally do episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah, they're in a chronological order around it.
No. But if we do, I have to think of something first. I think of Becky Lynch because I feel like most of that documentary was based on Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, to be honest with you.
Indeed. And yeah, I mean, it did seem like it always just it'd be like Becky and Seth, then it'd cut to something else, then it'd go back to Becky, and then it'd cut to someone else, then back to Seth, and cut to somebody else, and you get the gist.
You get the vibe.
Yeah, and I was gonna say as well, if we do miss anything that you guys want to hear us talk about or give our thoughts and opinions on, drop them in the comment section.
Please.
You know where to go.
We're fairly active when it comes to actually replying to messages. So
yeah. In terms of putting out content, we're a bit hit and miss. But if you want something being replied to, we fucking got you.
We do reply fairly
Yeah.
quickly. So, yes, Becky Lynch. It mainly focused on her coming back after having her baby. It focused on, she'd not been in the ring for a while. And it also gave a bit of a backstory of actually Becky and who she was, because I think obviously she was not around for the first documentary. She was in parts in it here and there for the season 1, but I feel like now season 2 was like, oh, let's show Becky off because Becky's the man and Becky's the greatest woman wrestler of all time in the business.
No, she's not.
But I feel like they had to do that at least one episode, just not the whole documentary practically.
I mean, you know my stance on Becky. Like, I don't fuck with Becky's character or massively her skill set is the completely wrong word. Move set necessarily. Like, Becky Lynch the character don't really do much for me. But what and granted, I can be quite harsh with that. We know your mark. No, I was gonna say like talking. Well, okay. My opinion on a wrestler, if I don't like him, such as Shinsuke, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably just not gonna like that person in general. I don't know why. It's not a personal thing. I don't. But does my opinion really matter? No, it doesn't. But with this series, like I did grow more of a liking towards Becky. Well, as her actual self. I was like, oh, okay, you know, obviously I've got off the idea that she isn't like that all the time, and shock horror that her in-ring character isn't her 9 to 5 everyday person or a home person. Like, so, but it was nice to see like a different perspective of them, like when they're not in character. I think that's like my favorite bit about Unreal, because that's the part where I think they are being very real. Like, we all know Unreal is quite a bit scripted. Like, it's not scripted in what happens, but it's scripted in, like they will show you what they want to show you
Yeah, 100%.
and
100
what's
million.
okay.
Yeah.
Like for example, we'll get onto it in a bit, but like the Seth thing with his injury, like we all knew it was like gonna be a ruse, but like it just shows the backstory to that. So like it's almost like they're showing us the backstory to shit we already know. Like it's not very. It's gonna be quite rare that we'll probably ever find out something brand new and never spoke about before thing on Unreal.
Yeah, basically. It's funny you mentioned about Becky and that character. Like, I loved Becky when the man character actually was a thing before she actually had a baby and had to go and stuff like that. I think she was top tall. I thought yeah, 100%. She was top of the women's roster and well deserved. But I feel like since she came back, it's just like, and I guess maybe someone trying to find that fuel back to be like, you know, get used to things again. But it just felt flat. Like it felt really flat.
It feels slow, bit botchy. Like it doesn't feel like any of her moves hurt
Yeah.
necessarily. Sorry, this isn't about fucking Unreal. This is just me slandering her. Fuck. Right, back onto Unreal.
No, it is because
Yeah, it is.
You are right. Like when you actually learn more about Becky and you've got more of a liking to her now. So, and that is because of the documentary. So
Maybe she's just like still nervous and like obviously being a mum, you'll probably be naturally a bit more conscious about the way your body's thrown around, or the spots you're gonna take. So, and to be honest, like, I didn't really watch Becky too much before she had the kid. I watched her a bit, but like probably a lot faster, a lot cleaner at that point. But it's interesting to see like how they actually feel before going out for matches, and it does give you a good perspective on like if their match has been shit with Unreal, you'll probably see why it was shit and the way that they were feeling. Do you feel him, sir?
Do you feel him, sir?
You also got known to while.
I've had a couple libations in the bus. So yeah, it then follows to actually her tag team partner then become rival Lyra Valkyria. We understand, you know, their relationship that goes back to basically, you know, Becky being Lyra's inspiration, basically. Yeah, and obviously at the wrestling school, and yeah, that was a little nice. It's also nice to know a little bit more about Lyra. Like I like Lyra; she got a good character. She can sometimes feel like a bit of like Bailey. Funny enough, obviously they're tag team partners now, but she has the Bailey in her where like it's all happy, smiley, but what's else but happy, smiley? You know, what else is just apart from like, oh, this is my happy, smiley character. I can be vicious sometimes, but this is my happy, smiley character.
Bro, I didn't realize like how nervous Lyra gets before matches. Like she was saying, like she really is in like terrified before them, and it's really hard actually getting through those curtains. And but I just find it wild how like even like they get nervous, and they're doing it on the biggest stage, which like is granted, but they know what they're doing. But those emotions never go. It's like Punk. He said it. He's like, I still get nervous for every match. I almost piss myself before going out.
And that's funny because it's Punk. You think Punk?
CM piss.
CM Punk. But yeah, it makes sense, I guess. I guess with Lyra, it makes sense because, you know, she's not been in WWE for a long time. She's also not been in the wrestling business for a ridiculously long time either. So because of that, it makes sense why she's nervous. And also, there's some stuff you can't control in the match. There's uncontrollable stuff.
No, which she was getting upset about, wasn't she?
Yeah. I mean, what was I can't remember what the thing she got upset with, but she basically...
I was like, you guys got to bear with us. We can't remember it frame by frame.
Yeah, there was a botch that she did. There was something she did. Oh, it was... yeah, she did a botch, basically. And she felt really bad after of doing that botch. And she's like, fuck, I really messed up. If you watch the episode, you'll know that botch. And it was just like, damn, really? You
don't worry about it. It's like, but even Triple H was going, he's like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, there's not much, you can't do anything about it now. We can't go back and change time. So, like, just suck it up. It's fine. Carry on. Which shows he is a good boss, even the fact he's a massive fraud, but you know.
Well, there's times, obviously, because again, we know it's scripted. So there's times where, you know, it's going to look like it's good, but there's also times where, I'll talk about it further, but when we get onto Seth Rollins' bit and we talked about Money in the Bank, and it was the bit of LA Knight and Seth Rollins obviously botching the finish. The finish wasn't actually what it was meant to be. like what it wasn't meant to be by when it was produced by Chris Parks, aka Abyss. The whole plan was to fight up the top of the ladder, and then for LA Knight.
Yeah, she wasn't there, was she?
That, and it wasn't there. And then after that, it was LA Knight like crouching down to Triple H, hearing his advice, and like it was almost like Triple H talking down on him.
But it feels like that's the reason as to why LA hasn't got this push. Like, the way he was saying shit was almost like, you need to be better at this before we can do anything else. And it's like, Seth didn't really... I mean, Seth cared about his moment. He was like, it's fine.
Seth cared, Seth cared, definitely.
But like...
I think his Money in the Bank matches, but he did care.
But I think, like, and if you watched Raw last night, you'll know what I'm about to say, but like, Jey Uso had quite a big botch.
Oh, we're recording this on Tuesday, by the way. So
yeah.
So
as per usual with Jey, he's quite prone to botch at the moment. But like, this is what annoys me. Why does Jey get the push for and get to world title when he's botched Mania? Nothing against Jey, love Jey. Yeah. Do you feel me?
Do you feel me? Sorry.
But when LA does it, it's like he's pushed right back down to the bottom of the order again. When in actuality, LA is the people want to see at the top of this mountain right now. Like, name somebody who's got better promo skills than him right now, bar obviously Punk, and you can probably include Roman in there now.
Yeah, I think Roman's top tier. I would have said Seth as well. But I think the thing with Jey is the reason he gets away with it is because he's so over. And I think he's over.
Is he more over than LA Knight?
Yeah, I think he is. Sadly, I think he is. Well, not sadly, it's just what it is, I think. But because that reason, you can get away from, you can get away with the botches, you can get away with making the mistakes. It's all right because that rules more than anything. And you got to also put it to perspective as a WWE as a business. Triple H is probably thinking, right, yeet over, yeet merch over,
yeet over, yeah,
yeet over, yeah. The merch is over, the crowd is over, so are you going to push him more because he's more over? You're gonna, yeah. Even if he makes botches, and he makes more botches than LA Knight does. I don't really see LA Knight make botches. But
no.
That's just how it works.
But that's a TKO thing right there. Like you're getting pushed based on your merch sales, and like, yes, that's got a big factor to it, of course it does, but like,
yeah, I know.
Penta is the biggest selling wrestler at the moment,
and they highlighted it in the.
Where's
they
his
highlighted
push?
it as well. They highlighted it in the Unreal documentary as well. How they had a little backstory about Penta and like his Zero Mero and like all this stuff and like how over he is, and even said that like he's ridiculously over. And Triple H,
well, Heyman was saying he's like, we've got a fucking gem on our hands here.
But even then, they still not ridiculously pushed him. So like. It's more about perspectives, I think. Wrestling is perspectives anyway, but it's all about perspectives and what each of the top guys, aka Triple H, Paul Heyman, Road Dogg, Jesse, like all them people, think of these wrestlers. Yeah. So then I thought a very good part of the documentary was the R-Truth stuff. I thought it was a really, really good thing.
Still, it's got a bit flaky even after the documentary. Like when it came out, even Truth took to Twitter and was like, yeah, that's not exactly how it went. Like, and he was saying it without saying it. Like, well, he was saying that obviously that's not the full truth, and that it has been twisted there via cameras and editing without saying that. Like, we all knew what he meant, but
he basically meant I got fired because they didn't want to pay me any money.
Yeah,
and everyone had a backlash on it, and then they employed me again.
And then they put it in the documentary like he was never actually fired. We just had contract disagreements, and he's like, "No, my contract was actually up. Stop lying."
Yeah,
but then again,
"No, we ain't re-signing that bitch. We don't need him."
Yeah, crazy work.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good to see R-Truth like get his moment on this. I feel like he deserved, and it was a good part of an episode for him. But the only thing that annoys about R-Truth is, like, they cut his hair, or he cut his hair, and then you bringing back the truth will set you free, the wrong killings thing, and what's happened since.
Yeah, we said it when it actually happened. Yeah, we actually said it when it happened. It was like, he cut his hair. Oh my God, Ron Gillens. It looked like he was going to go on a massive heel run, and then didn't go on a massive heel run.
Like you know, like that heel run he did with the Miz. Back in
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
like that.
2011.
Something evil and
2011
devious.
type beat. 2011 type beat.
Yes.
I thought we'd get it. We did not get it. We thought
Nope.
he thought, yeah, we're probably gonna get it. And he looked menacing. It looked a bit scary, like because you. I think a bit more as well because you know how he is comedy wise. You
Yeah.
forget how good he was promo wise
As a
and
heel.
like how he is. And
Do you reckon?
it's
Do you
funny, I
reckon
watched-
that they just won't change him now from being this comedy happy character?
No, he's turned into he's a Titus O'Neil type character now. He's gonna be like an ambassador type character now. Deadass. He's gonna be like he's a jokey type character now, but he's gonna just represent. He's gonna get kept on the books at WWE to just represent the WWE and talk good about WWE.
Yeah,
Be an
bro.
ambassador, literally.
Almost
But
like
yeah,
Santina Morella, but for TNA.
yeah, basically. It's funny you mentioned TNA. I actually saw a promo from him when he
John
was-
Cena.
Yeah, first back in
Batista.
TNA, time ago, like NWA TNA, and his promo skills was impeccable. It was incredible.
Bro, have you seen that it's Cena and Cody and Undertaker have all said like if you want like the person that they've seen with the most charisma and the most natural on the mic, just good at everything they do, they were like if they could have the guy at the top of that hill, it's Santino. They were like he is
Santino.
bro, they were all agreeing. They're like he is unbelievable at what he does and just naturally funny, naturally good in the camera. They're like he's one of the best. But obviously his character didn't develop into more. I mean, he won an IC title, won a US title, won a tag champ title, but like, but Santino is also he agreed. He's like, oh, I knew I was never going to get into the world title, but like I was happy doing what I do and got praise for it. So very unspoken hero.
I think it says a lot for like, I think of characters like the funny like characters, like your Truths, like your Santinos.
They'll have one position and carry it forever.
They're one position in character, but like they defo think have more than these other wrestlers. They just are positioned or they have the look that just doesn't make them.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like Tozawa will never be a bit because
he's got charisma, but like
bro, his match last night. Ooh,
very good.
I see
very,
it,
very
Tozawa.
good.
Like
Yeah,
he
very,
did the
very
whole he recreated the Seth diving. You know, in they had a triple Shield versus Wyatt's, and Seth did a no, it was on Raw, and Seth did a dive out the ring, came back in, dived to the other side, came back in, dived to the other side, came back, flipped over the other side, and Roman and Dean are like, what the fuck is going on?
And he just
It's exactly what Tozawa did last night, and like, but it annoys me because like for these characters coming back onto topic, like they won't ever fully get the praise they deserve. If Punk did that, it would be like everywhere over Twitter. Look at Punk. Punk still got it. He's moving like better than half the roster. Tozawa did it, and I didn't think there was like hardly more than 10 mentions on Twitter about it. And I was like, bro, come on.
That's a great example because, like, I remember last night watching the OG cutter from Javon Evans, where Bravio jumps up, Javon jumps up, and he basically does an OG cutter, but an RKO in the air, like a super RKO, and that's incredible. And Corey Graves was raving about it even after that was done. But like, if Truth did that,
Put some respect on my name.
yeah, like
Put
if
some
Truth did
respect
that,
on the lower caliber.
yeah. But it was nice again to see Truth get a little bit higher like him, and then
Deserves it.
yeah, give him his little bit. We also had little bits, not to really talk too much on it, but we had little bits from Chelsea Green. Again, like the first season. I think they love Chelsea Green, man, because
No
she's in the
shit.
first season as well.
I mean, she's a great personality, isn't she?
Yeah, she is really good personality. We got some things from Iyo Sky and Rhea as well about their match at Evolution, and just a bit more about Iyo, which is good. I think.
Yeah,
we
it's
need
good to
know
get
a bit more about
backstory.
Iyo. Yeah, because I think Iyo is the best wrestler, women's wrestler in the roster.
Yeah,
but
100%.
apart from Rhea, maybe. Also, yeah. But yeah, it was nice to get a bit more about Iyo. Find out more about Iyo because obviously we found out a lot about Rhea on the first season, so it was nice to get a little mix. And then also we got a bit about Naomi and why she left.
Yeah, she was a big talking point of this docu series. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was.
it makes sense. I mean, obviously, she did win the Money in the Bank in the series. It's based around that same era, and yeah, I think it never. I didn't think that would get highlighted. I didn't think that would ever be like shown of like, oh,
Mm.
she left because she had a disagreement. I didn't think that would be the
But
case.
then
So
again, like,
I guess it gives the unreal, but
but that's like the
yeah,
stuff that, like, as I said before, we knew about but didn't know the full backstory to it, and that's what they'll show. So, but I think it was really nice. It was like we haven't seen, like, a pregnancy side of things yet, and but that is like the closest thing you can get to that's as real as it gets.
yeah, we got
Um, and
Becky
having to
and
step,
Naomi as well from doing
yeah,
that as well.
but like having to step down from, top of the mountain being world champ to, but sacrifice for the greater good. Obviously what's come out the other side of it is fantastic, but and congratulations to them. But like it was, yeah, I didn't realize that she was wrestling at Evolution whilst pregnant. Like I thought that
Yeah,
was fucking
crazy, isn't
crazy.
it?
I
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
mad.
they were talking a lot about injuries, and coming back to Chelsea real quick. Like she was talking about it's like her eighth broken nose.
Yeah, she breaks her nose so much.
Yeah, but then, yeah, bro, I mean, wild to have to give up all that.
It's the dedication you take for the business, isn't it? At the end of the day, um,
Yeah,
it's what you,
I thought that's
it's
what
what you do.
I was thinking about this last night whilst I was watching Raw. That like once you get onto Raw, and I don't know, let's make a character real quick for me. Let's say they call me the Welsh Dragon, and I look pretty cool. I mean, I do. I mean, I'm really, really ridiculously good looking. But like for example, like Cody's tattoo. But let's say I had a tattoo which was a massive dragon on my back or something. I would never fucking get that in real life. But if you're a wrestler at that point, and I think you have to realize, okay, for the rest of my life, I'm going to be known as this person. Like it's like a TV series when you get a character like I don't know, like Friends, for example. Matt
Everyone
LeBlanc.
knows that David
Well,
Schwimmer
yeah,
is Ross.
is Ross. When Matt LeBlanc joined Top Gear, it was still,
It's
oh, Joey's on
Joey.
Top Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, um,
Okay, perfect example. It's like Bryan Cranston. He's Walter White. You know
yeah,
him as Walter White. You
yeah,
can't. You might know him from like Malcolm in the Middle or like other stuff, but everyone knows him as Walter White. So you
yeah.
Walter
But
White.
my,
Yeah.
my point was, like, I just find it crazy that, like, because you was talking about dedication, is getting, like, taking that character,
Taking it.
taking the character from here to, like, okay, this is my life. Bang. I get the tattoos, I've got to do the hair, I've got to look the way. And I just think, like, that's a lot of shit to do to be so committed to it. But like the commitments are crazy as well. Like that's just one side of the thing to look. Never mind the whole traveling and not being able to have proper relationships, not seeing your family often, not seeing your kids. But then you do get the other side. Like you do, it does pay off eventually because Naomi and Jim have been waiting a long time to have a kid, and now they're able to do it. They've got the window to do it. Shame it obviously came when she was getting that push, but they're commitments.
That's how it is. And I think the dedication commitments also, it was highlighted very much time, like a lot of times in the documentary. You think of Becky, because Becky mentioned it. She was like, well, I'm on the top of the mountain, so when am I going to have kids? Someone else mentioned it as well about the Chelsea. Chelsea mentioned it. Even Chelsea mentioned, she was like, well, she was talking about a house that she's building, and she was like, well, I then think, when am I going to have children? Like, I want to do this so bad, but when I have a children, and then obviously it's affected people like Naomi, where they get a push and they're like, "Oh, damn, I have a kid now." So like,
Yeah.
what do I do? But this is also another reason why I feel like when you enter the wrestling business, and when again highlight many times in that documentary, you're not only in the business, you're married to it. You're
Yeah,
not just married to
you
your partner. You're
once you
married.
are a character, you are,
Yeah.
and obviously like
You marry people in there. You have your kids around there in the atmosphere. Like your life is wrestling. So
but it's like a
it takes.
Tozawa. Tozawa wouldn't need to commit too much to the look of it because he's not that world champ level. And there's no disrespect to him, but like there's levels to the game. But when you get to like a Chelsea Green level or a Naomi level, like the character becomes you. or you become the character, and you have to live that day to day. Like Logan's doing at the moment. Logan's doing a very good job. He's, even out in the day, people may say he's a dick in general, but I disagree. But he's being a heel in real life, and you have to piss some people off in real life. You want to keep being that heel, so
Yeah.
I think issues. Let me fix that for you.
Let me fix that for you. It's only ball here.
It's only ball here. And today we've got a bit of glass.
Back. That is a throwback.
Everton fan, by the way, friend of the show.
Big boy. Nice. So
we're back. After a little break.
Yeah.
We're hydrated and refreshed.
Yes.
Got my electrolytes. I'm taking it there with their health.
So I thought the next part we should talk about is what happened. Well, I talked about the one half of the couple, so I'm going to talk about the other half of the couple. Seth. I feel like the first season didn't concentrate as much on Seth. I feel like this one was concentrated on Seth a lot because last year
he's one of the main talking.
Yeah, he had a big moment, and the main one we're obviously going to speak about is that whole Saturday Night main event. Got injured against LA Knight.
I found it crazy. Sorry to interrupt, but I found it crazy like how little people they tell. Like it's almost not obviously like they don't trust the business, but I think that they're so aware. That if they say something to the wrong person, not even the wrong person, but then that slips out, it's going to spread like wildfire. So it's the fact that they were they were really contemplate even telling Jessica, I can't remember her second name, but the referee, and then Triple H was like, no, we've got to tell the referee. But I can't remember who was producing it, but was like, do we tell? And it's like, does LA know? Or Seth said, does LA know? And Triple H was like, no, we're not going to tell him. And Seth was like, really pushed. He was like, no, you need to fucking tell him. Because if it was the other way around, he's like, I'd be fuming.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I thought we had a suspicion. I remember last year we had a suspicion when this actually happened. But you definitely that it was all a ruse. You thought it was all a ruse. You didn't think it was legit.
Nothing.
And it turned out that it was a ruse, and you were right. Which is I can tell from our
absolutely dialed.
I feel like from our predictions that we make and our years of watching wrestling, we can kind of suss things out. And I thought, you know what? I hear it because I've not seen any pictures. We're not seeing anything to actually show that he's actually fucking injured. He just says he's injured, but he's not fucking injured.
Yeah, there's no report, was there?
It makes sense for him to be injured and then have this ruse where he takes a heist and CM Punk. But yeah, you got to tell people, man. And I get why, because even in that circle of people, we had a suspicion that maybe it's a ruse. So people in that circle would have definitely exposed that it could be a ruse.
100%.
It would have been rumoured somewhere. Someone in that WWE landscape is a fucking snake and snitch and will give little dirt sheets, There is people like that. You don't know, but there's people like that. So, it did surprise me a bit, but yeah, it's right. You got to fucking tell him. You got to tell everyone involved that, right, this is happening.
Well, exactly.
And I thought it was perfect, like how they did it. Again, great moment of SummerSlam for night one. I hoped now that still continues something. I think even last night that highlighted that something's not done yet. Stuff's not done yet, really. But yeah.
What, with Division?
No, with Punk and Seth.
Oh, sorry. You did cut out there for me, but it'll be good in the recording. It'll be fine.
Punk and Seth. Yeah. I mean, something there. Because look at Becky Lynch and AJ. They're literally feuding at the IC title at the Elimination Chamber. I feel like something's still there. When Seth comes back, he's obviously going to have the Braun Breaker thing. But I feel like something's
maybe
there.
That'll be SummerSlam, Punk, Seth. Wouldn't mind that.
Maybe. But it depends what happens at WrestleMania and if Roman wins the world title or not. Which
I did think the injury there, like the Ruse was coming back to that, really well produced.
Yeah.
And the secret is so good like the way they kept it, obviously, apart from Seth's daughter saying to her school teacher, "Daddy's got a fake boo boo," and he's like, "No, you can't say that.
You can't say that.
But
It's worth millions of dollars. You can't say that." Which it probably is. That is generally probably worth $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I just it's crazy that like it affects family, and Becky was like, I couldn't, it was really hard to lie to like Seth's parents and her parents, and it's just like as we were talking about the commitment, like it does really come down to how much you're willing to keep a secret or married to
How
the
much you love
business
the
in that
business,
sense.
man.
But
How much you love the business, man. And to be fair to you, I found it really funny, and I've said this. I think we said this. I said this before, but I found it really funny how they criticized like Paul Heyman when they opened that episode and they talked about the work and the start of the work, and Paul Heyman was basically like, "I'm an old school guy. I don't like works like this."
yeah, and he was also talking about what's it? He was like, I don't really like Unreal as well. He like openly like, it's not my thing.
But my
Because
guy,
he's so old school.
and I get why, because he's so old school. I get it, but also, you make points and you make claims that are like that, and you obviously did a. You ran ECW, and you're telling me you never had to work in ECW? Of course you did.
Well, there was that was it Sandman? Was it Sandman? I can't remember if it was Sandman.
I think you mentioned it. I think you mentioned
it. With the eye injury, like he was blind.
Yeah. I think you mentioned that. You did mention that.
Yeah, something along those lines. But
again, criticizing. You can't really criticize that much if you've done it yourself. But each to their own. I also like that they did explain then the creation of the Vision. The Vision creation got explained, and that was obviously before Austin Theory and Logan Paul are in it now. So that was when it was just literally Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. And I like that, because then it gives a little insight on Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, and be like, it gave some basically got our views. Like it basically showed the creative. I'll start again. The creative showed how they view them two wrestlers, and how they basically see them as a future, which we already knew already.
yeah,
But even more so, it got doubled down. They're like, they definitely see Bron Breakker as world champion one day, 100%. Bronson Reed, I think they see as maybe world champion. But
he could be in the future, but not right now. Not for a while.
Bron Breakker, 100%, without a doubt, they see him as going to be a world champion in the next 3 years.
He's going to be back on the shelf for a couple months now.
Well, yeah.
Got injured.
But when he comes back, he's going to have a program with Adam Pearce or something like that. And if not, if Seth's back by that time, he's going to have a program with Seth. He is a main event wrestler now. The Vision are.
Obviously, before I get back on, I'll go back to Unreal in a minute, but I'm very intrigued to see who this person was. It Paul said he was like I can make a call to someone who you didn't want to hear from, and that Triple H certainly don't want to deal with. So pick your cards wisely. And this whole masked man thing, like I'm liking the Vision storyline because it's so. Like, it's so up in the air, you'd never know what's really happening. But that's a whole other episode. I'm sure we'll talk about that at a time.
And that is a good. To be fair, I know it's a sidetrack, but it's true. I don't know who that masked man is, because it ain't Seth.
I thought it was gonna be Logan, but obviously that was the face last night. Because the masked man came out and Logan was also out there, so it can't be Logan. Some people say Grayson Waller, but.
Nah, it's not Grayson Waller.
That'd be a bit like if Grayson Waller joined that group, that group instantly becomes a mid-table.
Yeah.
Group.
I think it's. I don't know who it could possibly. Generally, I don't know who it could possibly be. I don't know. Like,
that's what we like.
And it's not Seth. I know it's not Seth.
No, it's
not Seth. It's too easy for it to be Seth. And that's also lazy booking if it is Seth.
If it was Seth, incredibly lazy booking.
But it's not, because he did the curb stomp and all that stuff. And that's too obvious. It's way too obvious for it to be him.
I think actually, as of right now, I don't think it's anybody that we... Like, I don't think it's an actual wrestler under that mask.
You don't?
See, when they did the Theory thing, and then they did another bit, and then they did another week. I think those like bits where like I don't think it's anybody's like when Theory was under the mask. I don't think it was Theory. My thought on that is it's not that person. It's a random talent that they've got down the book somewhere, but it allows them to, something went wrong in between there. They can just sort of switch it because they weren't confirmed under the mask.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it's the same structure. You're gonna have the same body structure and shit like that as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, roughly, yeah.
Roughly. But yeah, who knows? But yeah, that was obviously the creation. Another good part. I feel like they're gonna do it because we're on Netflix, and they're a big global corporation or corporate. Sorry. Celebrities in WWE. Happens. It was in season 1. It was Speed at the Royal Rumble. This year was Pat McAfee. We can't really count because Pat McAfee.
No, he's like Logan, but for the commentators.
Yeah, Logan for commentators.
Full time.
Even though I love that they did follow that story of him and Gunther and Michael Cole. Like I did like that they ran with that and they went with that.
I mean, fucking Road Dogg saying he wanted Pat to beat Gunther.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Road Dogg had a lot of thoughts in that podcast. Sorry, a lot of thoughts in that documentary. I didn't agree with
him, bro. Sack him. Like, no disrespect to the guy, but not good enough at his job. Like, I'm sorry, but how can you suggest that Chelsea should win the US title? Hunter then says to you, okay, and what do we do after? And you go, I don't know. Like, don't...
If you're going to come up with something, you gotta have something.
But it explains a lot about that 2-3 month period of SmackDown, which was horrific, which was all produced by him. But I think from the reports I've read, they brought somebody new in there, which is good. But you can see it's a completely different product.
Yeah, so SmackDown's good every week now. Like you would.
SmackDown's better than Raw right now.
Yeah,
SmackDown's way better than Raw. I enjoy it, man. But yeah, I mean, I think they really need to think about who is in creative.
But we always had the suspicion that this was a case where they had people in booking that just weren't right for booking. No offense to Road Dogg, again, old friend of Triple H, like knows the business. But yeah, that was a couple takes, like saying Truth's gonna cut his hair. Why cut his hair?
Yeah.
Chelsea Green wins the US title.
Why?
All right, and then what? Like. You need if you're gonna make stuff like that, you're gonna edit that. You need long story. You need a vision. No pun intended.
I mean, it's like, well, I work in marketing, for example. I couldn't do a marketing campaign and go, okay, so we're gonna have, I don't know. Let's say I was a marketing person. For a microphone. All right, so we're gonna make a microphone. For what? Well, I don't know.
What are you making a microphone for?
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, Joe, let's get back on track. Celebrities.
Well, it's a little rant on the creative. But yeah, obviously Pat McAfee, they covered that and I like that. But they also covered Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, the country singer. Is he country singer? Country singer. And obviously he's a massive fan, and he was on the documentary as well. And
crazy weight loss, by the way.
Yeah, great weight loss. Yeah, incredible stuff. I'm trying to be like you, my guy. Even though I'm not fat, but trying to be like you, my guy. I think it was really good. But they always add them type of people in the doc to add a bit more, being like, it's not just a documentary about just wrestlers. It's a documentary about the people that come into wrestling and bring a little bit of life to it. So that was really good. Funny enough, I feel like there's only really one last thing to mention, because there's still loads of stuff that I feel like when we get season 3 eventually, because we will get season 3, that will get covered. But I feel like the mentions of
summer this year.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of mentions of John Cena's farewell tour. I think that's going to be a big part of the next season. It's pretty much going to be just a John Cena farewell tour documentary.
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take. Which is valid because it was the thing last year. Apart from obviously the couple of things they covered in the doc. Keep saying pod in the doc, but yeah, that was pretty much the documentary. What would you rate it out of 10, and how would you compare it to the first season in terms of that rating?
I think the first season was cool because I didn't know what I was expecting. It was something new. and everything seemed a bit more dramatic, and we didn't know how real it was, and it almost felt a bit like when you first watch wrestling, you're like, is it, I can't tell if it's real or fake or not. And that was the first one. But then, because we knew the second one, it's not as real as we think it is, I was a bit more standoffish from it. But in terms of the content they covered, like, especially about the rise of Penta, like, I love that bit.
Yeah.
And Paul saying we got such a gem on our hands here, let's not cock it up. It, I think this year they showed a lot more into the works of how stuff is made and how stuff is booked, which was nice to see. In terms of which one was better, though,
I think on season one still better for me because I feel like, although, and I would say personally because although I definitely think that season one was way more scripted than season two. And it's all scripted. Like there's a lot still hidden.
yeah.
There's more stories in one. There was more stories in season one. There was more learning more about different people in season one.
I disagree. I think it was a bit too repetitive in season one. Sorry. Woo. I think season two told the stories better. Again, no. There was more covered in season two, but sorry, better told in season one. But I'd say overall, I'd say 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good, pretty solid. Would go and watch again.
Yeah, I would definitely go watch it again. It's just, yeah, man. Again, we know as fans, like we're not seeing everything. It's not WWE real. It's WWE unreal.
Yeah, but then again, how do you show everything without giving away your entire? It it'd be like fucking Mr. Krabs, right? Putting out his secret formula for the sake of everybody else, and then Plankton going to steal it.
It's like
same. It's AEW would just look at it and go, "Okay, well we know what you guys are doing, right? Fuck it, we'll nick it."
Yeah, which is another point of obviously, AEW don't have something like this. There's also another thing of being like, well, we can only give so much because we have rivals at the end of the day. So I get it. Like you want to be real.
So I think we have to be real with them and like accepting that they can't give away everything because no company does that. Why would the company give away its biggest secret?
It's like KFC and their 11, 12 herbs and spices. I'm not going to tell you the 11, 12 herbs and spices.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
People try to figure it out. They don't really know what it is 100%. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
So you got to give it take it with a pinch of salt, we'll say. I did thoroughly enjoy it. What do you think? What would you rate it? Out of the old 10 school.
I give it an 8. I think and I give the season 1 an 8.5. They're both 8s, but I think the season 1 was a bit more better for me because one, I think we've never had something like that, and it was how it was described well. Stories were told a bit more. Find out, Vince. Like also,
where did that come from? Did you hear that?
I don't know where that came from, man. I don't know,
bro. Fucking something in my room saying fucking Vince shit, man.
Crazy, man. But season 2, I just think like it just told little stories about what's happening in the year, and that was it. Whereas season 1 was telling the stories, but I don't know. I preferred season 1. I just did. I felt like just more.
There is no correct answer.
There's more personal. I just felt like season 2 was more telling better stories about wrestlers. Okay, season 2 was telling me more about stories about wrestlers that they had a moment.
It was based off moments. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. 2 was based off moments. 1 was storylines.
And the wrestling year.
Yeah, it covered a lot more.
And why and everything. Whilst 2 was just like moments of individual wrestlers and why that moment was significant for the individual wrestler. Almost like, all right, who are we going to get on this season now? Right, we think we get this season, this is this person. And then let's make them speak about that moment, or that moment, and then film it. Which I guess is what you make when you're filmmaking. But season 1 was just an overall thing of the year. And it was including everyone, and there was more inclusion.
The only thing I felt,
players.
Sorry, the only thing I felt with season 1 is that it did repeat quite a lot.
Yeah, it did. It went back a lot on stuff as well. Yeah,
But it's interesting to see two different ways of filming it. I wonder what season 3 will be like. Speaking of season 3, any predictions for any stories they're going to cover, bar the obvious of Cena? I think. Well, they covered the Lesnar. They sort of covered the Lesnar return, but that's sort of done now. I reckon Logan Paul will be one.
What is it meant to be coming out this year?
Summer.
Yeah.
I reckon Logan Paul will be one.
WrestleMania. Obviously, whatever happened in WrestleMania. I think it's going to cover
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. We haven't seen a lot about Sami.
Drew
winning
the world title.
Yeah, Drew will be a big part in it. I think Cody will be in a bit more this season. Now
I wonder if Punk, AJ, and
and I think Punk needs to be in AJ.
Yeah.
I think Punk needs to be in a bit more.
I mean,
being world champion for me, that would be my thing because we haven't really seen much from Punk.
And I reckon there'll be something about Larry in there as well. Yeah. It'll be a very good one. I think the next one. I've got high hopes for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, when did it stop? When did they kind of stop talking about stuff? It was after SummerSlam, wasn't it?
Talking about what?
Like major points that happened, like.
Yeah, SummerSlam was the.
It kind of stopped at SummerSlam. That was it. That was their ending point for it until the next bit. So
in terms, it'll be SummerSlam to Survivor Series,
which obviously would be the Roman stuff, War Games,
WrestlePalooza.
It would obviously talk about the breakup of the Vision. So yeah, there's a few stuff, but I think we need to see. Obviously, we're on the road to WrestleMania now. I think a lot of stuff will be on what this period of time is on now.
Hundo P. Absolutely. Quite frankly, season 3 will be tremendous. The greatest season I've ever seen. Not like Melania. A lot of people went to go and see it. Greatest film of all time. I don't know why I turned Italian. And oh my god.
Yeah. I think that was it.
That's
thanks,
all.
Everyone.
Cheers. See ya. Bye. Fuck off. That's so. How rude and inconsiderate of me. It's making me sick to my stomach.
We will give you a little intake if you actually do listen to this pod or not, which you should be. Why not? Look at our socials.
What the fuck? Get a grip of yourself. Why are you
not?
acting like a child? Stop it. Shut up. Who are you talking? Anyway.
Expect guests. We've got guests coming on soon.
Yes. Yeah.
Expect a Elimination Chamber preview.
Yeah.
Either next week or the week after.
We will be watching that together, won't we?
We will be watching it together. Yeah.
Very intoxicated.
We'll be watching it together, yeah. Allow me, guys. It will be my birthday, so it's allowed. But
happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Mate,
happy birthday.
It's my birthday, bro. It's got birthdays. It's my birthday.
Yuck.
Regardless, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the
share,
podcast.
Subscribe, little twat.
Subscribe, and comment.
Have I ever criticised Gary Neville?
Why you said his legs were gone the other week?
Football podcast coming soon. Oh. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Bye.